Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda on Sign Language. Elizabeth Nakakoni. Let's take a look at the top stories tonight. President Yoweri Museveni congratulates Kenya President-elect William Ruto. Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga rejects result. Kosase grills CEO of Uganda Airlines Jennifer Bamturaki. And in sports, FUFA offers 60 balls for youth football championships. Hello once more, let's dig into it. President Yoweri Museveni has congratulated Kenya's President-elect William Ruto upon being elected as Kenya's 5th president. Now, in a release signed by the President Museveni on behalf of all Ugandans congratulated Ruto upon election. This was a follow-up on an earlier phone call to President-elect Ruto upon his victory. He reassured Ruto of Uganda's commitment to continue partnering with Kenya in advancing regional and continental agenda through the East African Community, African Union and other platforms. He also pledged that their cooperation will score tremendous achievements and expressed looking forward working closely with President Ruto. Meanwhile, Azimio la Umoja, I beg your pardon, that's Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga has rejected the results released by Kenya's electoral body, adding that his coalition is pursuing all available constitutional options. Speaking for the first time since the IEBC chair declared the presidential result, Odinga claimed that the IEBC chairperson showed disregard to the constitution by announcing results processed unilaterally. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chairman Wafula Chebukati on Monday declared Kenya Kwanza candidate William Ruto as president-elect with 7,176,141 votes, 50.45%, beating Odinga, who garnered 6,942,930 votes. That's 48.85%. Odinga, however, urged his supporters to maintain peace and calm.
Tumeona yale ambayo imefanywa na yule mwenyekiti wa tume ya uchaguzi Bwana Wafula Chebukati kwa kujaribu kupindua ili uamuzi ya Wakenya. Anafanya hivyo bila kushauriana na wale wenzake ambaye wako pale pamoja naye katika tume ya uchaguzi. Sisi wana Kenya na wana Azimio tunapenda amani. Tunapenda umoja wa Kenya. Tunataka kuona kama Wakenya wameungana kama kitu kimoja. Ndio tunaongea juu ya Azimio la umoja. Tuko na in 2017 the Supreme Court of Kenya nullified the presidential election again because of the misconduct of the IEBC. What we saw yesterday was a travesty and a blatant disregard of the Constitution and the laws of Kenya by Mr. Chebukati and a minority of IEBC commissioners. The law is clear on the role of the chairperson of the IEBC. The law does not vest in the chairperson the powers of a dictator to rule the IEBC unilaterally. The IEBC is structured as a democratic institution in which decisions must be taken either by consensus or by a vote of the majority. The chairperson and a tiny minority of commissioners have no legal authority to take weighty decisions and proclaim them as the rulings of the IEBC. The law on the IBC provides that unless a unanimous decision is reached, a decision on any matter before the Commission shall be by a majority of the members present and voting. I want to repeat. Unless a unanimous decision is reached, a decision on any matter before the Commission shall be by a majority of the members present and voting.
Now back on, the Chief Executive Officer of Uganda Airlines Company Limited has declared to Parliament how she did not follow a formal procedure to acquire her job. Appearing before the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, Jennifer Bamturaki and officials from Uganda Airlines informed the MPs that they were implementing a presidential order. COSASE, chaired by MP Joel Senyonyi, tasked CEO Jennifer Bamturaki to avail her academic credentials to the committee in its next sitting.
After the position of the Chief Executive Officer of Uganda Airlines fell vacant, a search for the new CEO was initiated and 40 people tendered in their respective qualifications. Jennifer Bamturaki, who held the position on interim basis, had intentions of applying for the CEO of the national carrier. Little did she know that luck would befall her.
The process was in very early stages because they were supposed to receive all applications and shortlist the people that they wanted and only bring forward to us for action. That had been the procedure put in place.
Then allow me to ask her direct. Madam Jennifer, I'm sorry, I don't have something personal against you. Are you among the 40 Ugandans who had also shown an interest in to be the CEO of Uganda Airlines?
Did you apply, in other words?
No, I didn't. Because the day I was going to apply, I was appointed.
Oh, wow.
Jennifer and some officials from Uganda Airlines appeared before Parliament's Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprise to clear the air on the recruitment of the CEO of the national carrier. The officials revealed how the process was interfered by a presidential directive which opted that Jennifer Bamturaki should grab the position.
In the middle of that process, that's when the directive came.
COSASE, chaired by Nakawa West Member of Parliament, also questioned the salary disparities at Uganda Airlines following an Auditor General's report, which asserts that the airlines has no approved salary and staff structure, which makes it to incur excess expenditure amounting to over 4 billion shillings.
When the interim board came in, the former CEO was earning 126 million shillings. Now,
Come again?
yes.
CEO Jennifer Bamturaki, who earns 87 million shillings monthly, says plans to have a revised salary and staff structure is underway and to be completed by the end of 2022.
So until that process is complete, then we'll be able to have one design based on their findings.
If you want to turn around this entity, begin by fixing the question of staff. So let's have that staff structure available within a month from today, without fail. That's a directive we are giving as a committee.
Jennifer Bamturaki was also a former AD to the former Uganda Airlines boss Conwell Muleya, who was recently sacked. The MPs have demanded that Ms. Jennifer presents her credentials during the next engagement with COSASE. Daniel Mugoya, Greta Gwitabinji, UBC News.
Thank you, Chair. Listening to...
Now, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, hosted Uganda Jubilee Network leaders and intercessors at State House, Nakasero, on Friday, ahead of the annual 50-day fast leading up to Independence Day. She appreciated the decision by Uganda Jubilee Network to focus the upcoming year and fasting season on the education sphere and asked them to especially pray for the young generation, those in schools and higher institutions of learning, and young Ugandans generally. She said that many young people have lost their direction because their parents are not there for them, and perhaps the church also does not have sufficient programs for the youth.
Nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name, on Christ the solid rock.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, hosted the Uganda Jubilee Network leaders and intercessors at State House Nakasero. This was ahead of the annual 50-day fast leading up to Independence Day. The First Lady appreciated the decision by Uganda Jubilee Network to focus the upcoming prayer and fasting season on the education sphere and asked them to especially pray for the young generation in schools and higher institutions of learning and young Ugandans generally.
We have a generation of young people in this country, really, who have absolutely no knowledge of God. And they don't know what to do. They don't know, but we also don't know how to direct them to places where we think they can be helped. We have many young people who are beginning to work even, who are getting into these offices, who don't know anything about God, who just know that all they need to do is get money. And whichever way they get money, it's okay as long as they get it. People who are God-fearing and who care about the direction of our homeland must worry now. And we must take our worry to God in prayer. And so I'm so thankful that we have this opportunity to meet just to pray and to ask God to guide us, to lead us to know what to do, to just give ourselves to God and say, we are here for you to use. We are willing to do your will. Guide us, show us the way. How can we really guide our young people, our young generation, to be God-fearing and to know that their lives are better off knowing God.
Mrs. Museveni thanked Uganda Jubilee Network for being faithful and praying for the Ministry of Education and Sports over the years without ceasing.
I thank you, Dr. Magara, and your team, that you are there for our country, that you are the ones who worry, who fast, who pray, who take our concerns to God and not give up year after year. We are truly blessed to have you and your team. That you have been faithful to pray for Ministry of Education all these years is something we can never thank you enough.
Dr. James Magara, Board Chair, Uganda Jubilee Network, said that the focus of this year's prayer and fasting season is the education sphere, with the theme laying new foundations for the education sphere and the next generation.
The focus of this year's prayer and fasting season is the education sphere, with the theme laying new foundations for the education sphere and the next generation. This is based on Isaiah 58 verse 12. Those from among you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up the foundations of many generations, and you'll be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets to dwell in.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Meanwhile, outgoing State Minister for Sport, Samson Obua, has officially assumed office as the new government chief whip. Obua, who warns against laziness, comes with a spirit of teamwork The handover ceremony was witnessed by Prime Minister Rhoda Nabanja and Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayabwa.
It is official. The Ajuri County Member of Parliament in Aleptong District, Hamson Obua, is the new government chief whip. He received instruments of power from predecessor Thomas Tayabwa, now the Deputy Speaker of Parliament. The Prime Minister Rhoda Nabanja witnessed the handover. Behind this well-received attention-grabbing bell and whipstick was a message of teamwork from the new office bearer.
My track record in the 17 years in Parliament is well documented, and I will not allow anybody to attempt to lead me to a side that I do not belong. I belong to the winning side. The Speaker is the winning side. The Right Honourable Deputy Speaker is the winning side. The Prime Minister is the winning side. And I believe all of us are on the winning side. Please facilitate us to work.
Obua is the 7th government chief whip, after Kabakumba Masiko, Daudi Migereko, John Nasasira, Kasule Lumumba, Ruth Nankabirwa, and more recent, Thomas Tayabwa. He equates his new role to that of a substitute in a football pitch.
I'm here to be guided, but I will not compromise on service to this Parliament, service to the office of the Prime Minister, service to the people of Uganda. And this is me. Accept me the way I'm coming. Where I need to whip you, I have been given the whipping stick.
The Prime Minister and Deputy Speaker of Parliament pledged support to the office of the government chief whip.
We are required to handle 62 bills, of which our target, to me, should be about 80%. We have presented some, as you are aware. About 14 already are presented, and they are now at the level of first reading. And by the end of the first quarter, we believe we shall push in more.
In negotiation, there is what we call ZOPA. ZOPA means zone of possible agreement. You start from red lines, extreme lines, but all of you should be working toward the green line. You work with the Prime Minister, you know which concessions can we make as a government. Then Europe will also be coordinating with his team. Which concessions can we make as opposition? You reach the green light.
Hamson Obua was appointed government chief whip on 21st July 2022, just a couple of months since Thomas Tayabwa became deputy speaker. He is scheduled to hand over the sports state ministerial docket to Peter Ogwang. Henry Okrut, UBC.
And State Minister for Finance and Planning, Amos Lugolobi, has urged child rights activists and Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to liaise with the National Planning Authority in lobbying for resources on child rights and protection sub-sector. Now, the minister was launching the Uganda Child Protection Budget Analysis Report in Kampala.
Of COVID-19, the National Budgetary Allocation to the Youth and Children Affairs sub-program in the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development registered a drop from 6.39 billion shillings to 4.5 billion Uganda shillings. Presiding over the research dissemination report on the Child Protection Budget Analysis compiled by Child Fund Uganda and Makerere University Afri-Child Center in Kampala, State Minister for Finance and Planning Amos Lugolobi urged the child rights activists and the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to liaise with the National Planning Authority to have more resources allocated to the child protection sector in the next financial year.
I leave this place now fully informed about
the research study conducted by Professor Nalasia Sasingwire from Makerere University on behalf of Child Fund Uganda and Afri-Child Center cited some challenges to child protection which are on the rise.
The situation in this country as pertains children is an alarming situation. We have gross violations happening.
That we are here today to tell people what child protection should be. It's because we've noted that a lot of lip service is paid to child protection.
Members of the Parliamentary Committee on Children, Margaret Makoha of Namayingo and Shatis Muserure Kutesa of Maogola North, pledged to probably to consider the matter as a budgetary priority.
Indeed, very true that money allocated to the protection of children in this country is little.
And so it's part of our responsibility to advocate for more funding. All that is not enough, that's not adequate. We need to find sources of funding.
The research, which was conducted in 5 sample districts of Wakiso, Katakwi, Guru, Busia and Mbarara, also recommended that government sets up a separate conditional grant to local governments specifically for children protection affairs. Edward Colin Duko for UBC in Kampala.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
National Council for Higher Education will hold the 4th Annual Higher Education Conference on the 14th and 15th September 2022. The conference theme is Enhancement of Teaching, Learning and Assessment with Ordeal in Higher Education. The guest of honor will be the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. The conference will be held physically at Hotel Africana for only invited guests and open to online participants via Zoom webinar that will be shared under the events section at www.unche.or.ug. The keynote speakers are Ezra Nazim, Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK, Professor Henk Gerald Sola, a Dutch organizational theorist and Emeritus Professor of Business, Engineering and ICT at Groningen University, the Netherlands. The National Council for Higher Education is receiving papers from researchers and scholars for publication in the Uganda Higher Education Review, Journal of National Council for Higher Education. For more details, send inquiries to cmuhumuza@unche.or.ug, info@unche.or.ug, or call 0783 040024 or 0704 800926 plus 256 39 32 62 140/4.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mold Technologies, your professional research firm.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabane. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Did you know it is mandatory to have all births registered and a birth certificate issued? Failure to do so attracts a penalty of imprisonment or a fine. It's proof of age and belonging to parents, protects and provides children with legal rights from crimes and abuse like defilement and child labor. Give your children a good future today and have their birth certificates. For more information, visit the NERA office in your area or visit our website www.nera.go.ug. This message is brought to you by NERA.
Cooking with electricity is now affordable. Cook your beans. Avoid smoke.
Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Welcome back. This is still news tonight. Top government and NRM officials, including Vice President Jessica Lupo, NRM First National Vice Chairperson Alhaji Moses Chigongo, and the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, have thronged Busongora South constituency in Kasese district to drum support for the NRM candidate in the by-election, Gideon Mujungu. The officials assured the people of Busongora South of better service delivery once they elect the ruling NRM candidate in Thursday's poll. Now, today marks the last day for the campaigns. The Busongora South constituency seat fell vacant after court nullified the elections on grounds of malpractice. Philip Aguta has more.
It was a busy day in Busongora South constituency as top NRM bosses thronged Kasese for the last day campaigns. The Vice President Jessica Alupo, who represented President Museveni, attended the first rally at Karusantara Primary School, where she assured the people of Busongora on government's commitment to improve service.
Water for irrigation and water for domestic use.
Inde mukalwa amatambiriro imwarwa maete awakasesera no mwamalema kandi imwarwa na maete watukakolesayo mwa manyumba yetu.
And all those points were raised by the LOC1 chairman, the LOC3 chairman and the LOC5 chairman.
Kandi epoinde zona kiamanu wetu wa local council wanu oya kasatu hamuna jamani oya katanu bazibazireho kurungu.
So as government, we are here today to tell you, the people of Kasurandara and the people of Kasese, that government will continue extending those services to you.
Karusantara, that means floods, is the sub-county that is one of the most affected with floods, and Alupo pledged that the government will desilt all the rivers in the area to reduce on floods.
Water does not disturb you when you're in the garden or when you're even at home. So I want to make a commitment that government will desilt all the rivers so that water will be passing where it's supposed to pass, and then you do economic activity in Karusantara properly.
Karusantara, which is also occupied by the Naniva Konjo, has more than 30 different tribes that President Museveni asked them to unite and concentrate on eradicating poverty.
President Museveni asked me to tell you that he knows that here in Kasese, there are Bakonjo, they are Busongora, they are Batoro, they are Banyankole, they are Bachiga, they are Bafumbira, they are Batuku, they are Bamba, they are Batwa, Babuisi, Banyoro. And he's saying that all these people have been united over the years. They are still united now, and you must remain united.
Alupo was later joined by the Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, who promised to implement all the pledges made by the President.
This year, Prime Minister, nekwatagana nekitongole chaitu oba Ministry ya Disaster Preparedness. Nitukwatagana na Ministry ya Works. Kokuba bagambire ira tumazire yakora plan eyebakweta desilting kwiya mwebitaka okuli haiguru omubuku nukwa amaizi galeme kushandara kujja kuterebaniza abantu.
Meanwhile, the first national NRM vice chairperson Alhaj Moses Chigongo campaigned at Katunguru in Lake Katwe sub-county.
Ndi wano olwa movement yetwalwanirira netubeera wano nga tulwana netugituuse Kampala netuwamba obuyinza netuba tukyagitwala mu maaso kyekinkomyawo.
Present was the Minister for ICT and NRM National Vice Chairperson for Western, Dr. Chris Bariomusi. Ministers are members of Parliament and NRM district officials. Philip Aguta and Moses Mutabali for UBC News in Kasese.
Well, inquiries into the case where 8 suspects are accused of murdering Sheikh Masood Mutumba in Bujiri district are complete. The Chairman, General Court Martial, has set August the 22nd to start the hearing of the case.
The 8 accused persons in the murder of Sheikh Masood Mutumba include LDC Mugoya Baruhusa, Mugoya Abisali, Amos Koja, Kato Sulaiman, Mwanda Charis, Jagenda John Henry, and Mugoya Alex. They appeared before the Chairman, General Court Martial, Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe, for mention of the matter. Prosecution Alex Lasto Mukwana informed court that investigations are complete and asked court to set the hearing date.
That is fixed for hearing on 22nd August 2022.
Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe set 22nd August 2022 to start with the hearing of the matter.
Your case is adjourned to 22nd August 2022 for hearing.
The 8 accused persons and others still at large on 5 February 2020 at Basimba village, Bujiri district, murdered Sheikh Masood Mutumba. The accused pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences. Meanwhile, the same court has sentenced 2 civilians to 5 years in prison on charges of unlawful possession of firearms. These include Kaiwa Joseph, aged 23 years, a resident of Mabale village, Kabale sub-county, and Sechiwala Ambrose, aged 42, a resident of Bugere village, Kabale sub-county, in Chotara district respectively.
One accused one, Kaiwa Joseph, you are sentenced to 1 year and 8 days imprisonment. Sechiwala Ambrose, on account of that one, you are sentenced to 1 year and 8 days imprisonment. On count 2, accused one, Kaiwa Joseph, you are sentenced to 1 year and 8 days imprisonment.
The accused last year changed their plea of not guilty to guilty. However, court wasn't able to sentence one Kavuma George since he was sick during the trial. On this court set 12th September 2022 to hear the charges against him. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
An Organization of Social Science and Research in East and Central Africa report has noted there is an increase of environmental degradation and youth fleeing from their responsibilities following the effects of COVID-19. The Monitoring and Evaluation Planning Coordinator, Organization of Social Science and Research in East and Central Africa, Dr. Jerome Ntege, says COVID-19 affected most areas where youth are involved.
According to the Organization of Social Science and Research in East and Central Africa report, Uganda did great in stopping the spread of COVID-19, but neglected its impacts and approach.
We suffered from the decisions about lockdown because our experience was not taken into account when they were making the decisions. And that is a trend you could observe, you could feel throughout the data collection. But we should also be dynamic in approaches. Lockdown was adopted when it was a good thing, but for how long?
But there is need to empower the youth on their rights and voicing the social accountability.
Young people that went to the villages, they were different from the village guys. So they were the ones sleeping around with everybody. They caused serious insecurity there because they were stealing, surviving on everything that was there. And then after the lockdown, they left trouble there and came back to Kampala. So you have many girls who became pregnant by the men that traveled in the village. They are not there. And those who left in Kampala, they also faced another problem. So it's a very tricky situation that we are facing.
The research focused on people living in slums and well-abled families for comparison with the country, isolating COVID-19 as the only problem, yet there were vaster problems.
There are not mangoes because the trees were cut down during COVID. So that is a serious impact on the environment. Now for fishing it became much tricky. The young people went to fish because there was a lot of water. They banned them from fishing. They told them, do agriculture. They said, how do we do agriculture where monkeys live? Because monkeys are waiting for them. So they could not do agriculture, they could not do the fishing. So the only thing they would try to do is to deal with the sand from the lake illegally.
Jacob Eyeru, the chairperson, National Youth Council, says young people should rely their energy to productivity.
It goes as far as going issue by issue in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of the economy, in terms of participation in management of the pandemic. And it goes as far as guaranteeing a better future for participation of young people in management of such issues from a holistic approach.
So that Kai, UBC News.
And the Atomic Energy Council of Uganda has called for the amendment of the Atomic Energy Council Act of 2008 to match the increasing demands to regulate the radioactive resources. This has been raised by the Chief Executive Officer of the Council, Noah Deogratius Luwarida, at the third review of the Integrated Nuclear Security Support Plan, focusing on terror encountering.
The deposition of radiation materials into the environment can expose people and contaminate their surroundings and personal property. Uganda has been consistently increasing the possession of radioactive resources with minimal security support plans. The Atomic Energy Council is reviewing the integrated security support plans to respond to the poor disposal and handling of these elements.
About their security, that if they are here, they should only be used for peaceful purposes. That's one. Two, they cannot be accessed by unauthorized persons who may use them for other malicious, dubious, dangerous ways, like developing the RDDs, developing the REDs, developing the INDs.
The review intends to find secure utilization of nuclear energy, which is becoming significant in this fourth industrial revolution. Gadgets like metal detectors contain isotopes with high concentrations of radiation, which warrants proper handling and disposal.
We have radioactive materials, particularly category 1 and 2, which are extremely risky and extremely dangerous. So to be sure that their security is guaranteed, we have to be at par with the best practices of how to keep them safe and secure.
Security have discovered that criminal elements use radioactive substances to build improvised explosives, which promotes terror activities.
Especially when we have these events coming in, or whenever there are some threats of terror nature. Of course, you can never be sure where is it coming from exactly. So,
using the risk of having these radioactive materials being used by malicious people, adversaries like terrorists. In Uganda, you've had terrorist bombs. Now, supposing these attacks involve radioactive materials, the situation will be worse.
The Atomic Energy Council of Uganda wants government to amend the Atomic Energy Act of 2008 to meet the increasing inflow of radiation components.
We have to see that the legal framework provides for nuclear security, provides for nuclear liability, provides for criminal offenses, for criminal acts involving radioactive materials. You will find our current year, some of those provisions are missing.
This is the third review of the Integrated Nuclear Security Support Plan, and the last was conducted in 2017. Abdul Nasser Luwama, UBC News.
With that, we take a quick break. We return with business news. This is News Tonight.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You see, I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money Pay.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
Not mixing your business money with your Kameza money. No, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, Nga, you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello, is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Uganda Landowners Association welcomes you to the Land Use Exhibition, the first of its kind in Uganda. Do you want to learn how to use and earn from your land, or you need information on how to manage your land? Come and be part of this exhibition, which will start from the 31st of August to the 1st of September at Umasho Grounds, Nakawa Multipurpose Hall. Don't miss a session which will tackle land matters in board discussions at only 5,000 shillings. Small and large-scale business owners, you're invited to showcase your commodities. To be part of this exhibition, call 0701-111-401 or 0772-446-507. The Land Use Exhibition is organized by the Uganda Landowners Association, sponsored by Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC.
Welcome back. Now in business news, the Katikkiro of Uganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, has called upon small and large businesses to participate in exhibitions to showcase their products for greater market. He was addressing the media at Bulange Mengo about the Uganda Expo that is to commence on Friday the 19th August this year.
Every year, Uganda organizes the Expo, where people of different businesses showcase products they produce to enlarge on market for the producers. Addressing media, Katikkiro of Uganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, advises enterprises to promote their products through exhibitions.
It's through sale of goods and services that we earn. But the only way people will buy your goods or your services is when they know, when they learn about the availability of that particular good or that particular service that you have to offer. So the Uganda Expo is supposed to help somebody in business to promote what they have.
Uganda Expo will create opportunities for products produced by different people from all regions.
The purpose of organizing the Uganda Expo is for us to showcase the heritage of the kingdom. Our priorities around areas of tourism and agriculture. But in a broader sense, everyone who has goods and services can come forth, and the public learns about what you have. They buy your goods and services, and then you earn, and then we prosper. The individual progress, economic progress, the individual economic progress of the people of Buganda and Ugandans.
The Minister for Tourism in Buganda Kingdom, Godfrey Chiwalabye Male, asserts that this will be the unique expo after 2 years of COVID without taking place.
Emyero gino giteekebwa mu lubiri tuba tugenze mu eyo empisa y'ensi y'okubeera nti buli mpisa yenna ennungi etandikira mu lubiri era abantu edda baafubanga nnyo okusiiga abaami baabwe mu mbiri ne mu bisaakaate by'abaami.
On behalf of Buganda Heritage and Tourism Board, Princess Carol Nalinya highlights on activities to take place in the expo.
nga abiri tugenda kutandika omwoleso n'olusiisira lw'ebyobulamu 21 Katikkiro ajja kuggulawo omwoleso nga 22 ojja kuba lusiisira lw'amateeka nga 24 empaka z'okufumba nga 25 ojja kuba lunaku lwa byabulambuzi ate nga 26 baffe okuyitako omwoleso 27 na 28 bijja kuba byakwesanyusa.
The Buganda Expo will take place in Mengo Palace from 19th to 28th August under the theme Prosperity for All.
And farmers in East African countries are encouraged to plant quick maturing crops and use greenhouses. They have been advised to involve in horticulture farming, considering value addition plants and utilizing government programs.
Growing quick maturing plants, use of irrigation and greenhouses for horticulture, and to consider planting value addition crops will help farmers, especially at small scale, to overcome the challenge of climate change. The Commissioner of Human Resource Management in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, Mark Seremba, opened a training for SMU leaders from Burundi at National Farmers Leadership Center at Kampiringisa in Mpigi District. The coordinator of SMU Burundi, Ezekiel Hatungimana, led SMU leaders from Burundi. The training centers on mindset change and value addition.
On that case, we are here to share experience. As you know, Burundi, Uganda, especially East Africa and South Korea, because the sample of SMU is South Korea. South Korea in the past 30 years, 50.
In the training, Seremba revealed that the Ministry of Agriculture will encourage farmers on value addition, irrigation, greenhouses for horticulture and parish development model.
Take up this program seriously. To develop our families, to develop ourselves, develop our villages, and to develop our countries.
He commended the South Korean Samaondong program for developing rural communities. The principal National Farmers Leadership Center, Kampiringisa Okwaja John Bosco, commended Samaondong program for changing the mindset and developing model villages in the districts of Mityana, Mpigi, Kayunga, Kansanda, among others.
If you want learning to take place for people to transform, let's work on their mindset. And in Uganda, we want to testify the communities that have taken this positively are moving towards a positive direction.
Joseph Oko, Salon Kasivante, UBC.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and the ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show, because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed, and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions, plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
And now in sports, 3 days to the Under-13 National Youth Football Championships. Uganda Youth Football Association has received match balls for the tournament. FUFA donated 60 balls for the games that start on the 16th till the 21st of this month. Now the maiden games will host both boys and girls competing for trophies and qualifications to compete in the East African Games. FUFA looks to incorporating such tournaments as avenues of identifying and nurturing talent.
Support that has been rendered to Uganda Youth Football Association for our Under-13 ongoing championship that is in Valley. We are grateful that FUFA has come up to assist and support the young children, the Under-13s that are actually in Valley, and we pray that I'm very grateful that this tournament goes on successfully, and we are going to give these balls to all schools that came from different academies around the country, all those schools that have come up to participate in the Uganda Youth Football Tournament that is in Mbare at Nkoma Secondary School. We pray that the children are safe and they're going to use these balls to develop. Thank you so much, FUFA. We are very grateful and we appreciate all the support that has been rendered to us.
With the National Super League That's with the National Super League nearly coming. Clubs are busy engaging in the transfer window, others involved in friendly games to strengthen squads. Reigning league champions Viper Sports Club were in Rwanda facing Giants Ryan Sports in friendly game. Vipers Bobos Biarhanga was the man of the match with the only goal in this game separating the two sides. A few days back, Vipers came through after defeating Yanga FC of Tanzania. We bring you some of the highlights. Well, and that does it for News Tonight for now. Elizabeth Nakakoni on sign language. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We do return at 10 o'clock with more. But for now, we'll leave you with Daphne Nsamba with the weather update.
A pleasure having you for this weather update. I'm Daphne Nsamba from Uganda National Meteorological Authority, and thanks for joining UBC. Most parts of the country today had cloudy conditions in the morning hours, though some few areas had sunny intervals. Later in the afternoon, most parts of Uganda had cloudy conditions, with some areas having thunder showers. According to a report that received today morning, Entebbe reported the highest amount of rainfall of 20.0 millimeters. Bushenyi we had 11.0 millimeters, and then Toro we had 2.3 millimeters. Checking on the satellite image of Africa, we see there are winds that are coming in from Congo towards our country, contributing to the winds and the rains that we are having, especially in the western part of the country. We are also getting winds that are coming in from Indian Ocean towards our country. This has led the rain belt to be over our country, contributing to the rains that we are having in most parts of Uganda. For tomorrow, we are expecting to start the day with sunny intervals in most parts of Uganda, apart from some few areas that will have cloudy conditions with isolated showers. For example, Arua, western part of the country, and also some few areas around Lake Victoria. Later in the afternoon, thunder showers are expected in most parts of Uganda. Temperatures are expected to rise to 26 in most parts of Uganda, apart from some few areas that will have 22 degrees Celsius. For example, Kabale, some few areas will have, Kasese will have 27 degrees Celsius. Going beyond Uganda, we're expecting Nairobi to have sunny intervals, and also Dubai, with temperatures rising to 45 degrees Celsius, that is in Dubai. New York, London, and Paris, we're expecting showers with temperatures rising to 24 degrees Celsius, that is in New York. That's what we had in us, so continue tuning into UBC. Have a blessed evening.